Good morning, everyone. This is Anthony with livingtheend.com. Thanks for joining me. So today I'm going to talk about the 3D and how to deal with 3D circumstances that are right in your face. So first of all, you need to know who you are. You need to know that you are in fact God, and that God is within you, and all the power that God has is at your service. So with that, another thing to realize is that you only have now. There is no past, there's no future. You only have memories of the past and what could be considered as memories of the future when you're thinking of things of the future. And the issue is that when you're thinking of those things, either the past or the future, you're bringing them to your now moment. They are happening right now. So that's why it's important for everyone to realize what they're thinking and saying. Because what they're thinking or saying is happening right now. And when you do that, you're claiming it. Okay? You're bringing it to your present moment. Now, what the 3D is nothing more than a reflection of your past or current assumptions, perceptions, conceptions of yourself and the world around you. That includes the people around you, the circumstances that are happening. And so what you're seeing are those perceptions and conceptions that you were thinking about, okay? Or that you even claim by speaking it out. Words are powerful. So let's get down to it. Let's assume that, and I'll use this one because I talked about it yesterday. When you have an SP and it's an SP that you have to deal with, probably the worst place you could be. If it's an SP that you have to deal with all the time, then we find it hard to ignore or deny the 3D. Okay? You don't really want to ignore it anyway. But it's so in your face and it seems so real for you at the moment that many times you feel that it's hard not to react to it. But yet that's exactly what you have to do. And so let's kind of look at how that looks and how that plays out. So you have this SP that wants nothing to do with you. Let's say, unfortunately, it's you were married before and you have kids together, and you've got every single weekend, or every other week or whatever, you have to deal with this SP. Okay? And this SP doesn't want anything to do with you. But you would like to get the relationship back again. Okay? Now, a lot of times you hear a lot of people say, if they don't want you, then leave. Well, that they don't understand what's happening. They think that there's only that version of that person and that version of you, which isn't true. There are multiple, infinite versions of you, and within that are infinite versions of that SP. Okay? You just need to decide which version of you that you want to be. Because remember, all the gurus out there, all the authors and everything, they all stated that this is about you and not about the SP. Don't make it about the SP. The moment you make it about the SP, you've lost. Okay? Don't make it about the SP. It's all about you. So, you've got this SP that doesn't want anything to do with you, and you've got to face this SP every week. You decide who you want to be. So you want to be in a loving, committed relationship with this SP. All right? So how would that look like? What would that relationship look like? Okay? How would you act, and how would the SP react to you if you were in a loving, committed relationship with this SP? All right? How would it look? How would you act, and how would they act? Okay? And get that picture in your head and keep that with you. And when you have to deal with this SP that is not showing up the way that you want them to show up, you have to see yourself as the person that would be in that loving, committed relationship, and then see them react to you in that way. All right? And folks, I know this is tough because I was there. And let me tell you, it was not a pretty state of affairs. And so at first, all I did was fight and try to argue my position. That did nothing but make it worse. And that's what we all try to do. We all try to argue our position and stuff. We listen to these coaches and so on and so forth. And I mean relationship coaches and stuff. And they tell you, to do this and do that and act in such a way, and to, voice that, this and that and this. It's a minefield. And so instead, what you do is you can sit there and with your head, you can agree with them, and you can, you look at, but inside your mind, you're seeing them as that loving, committed person that you want. You change the words. It's almost as if, and I'm going to date myself, but Charlie Brown, and when the teacher's speaking or an adult speaking, it's wah, 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 wah. That's what I did. That's exactly what I did. And then I placed in my head what I wanted her to say and be, and her facial expressions, what I wanted to see her facial expressions. Okay? Because a lot of times, I'm going to tell you, when they don't want you around, people, they look different. They are not the same loving person that you remember. And so that's the key. You have to see them in your mind the way that you want to see them, even if they're yelling and screaming at you. Don't react to that stuff. See them the way that you want to see them, as that loving, caring, committed person towards you. And if you can do that, things will shift for you. Okay? You have to see yourself as that loving, committed person that they look up to, that they want to be around. You can hear them telling you that they want to be around you, that they love being around you. Don't. This is a big don't. This is a mistake that people make when they make these scenes. Is they either in the scene says they are so happy and glad that they are back together again. No, that's a big mistake. Okay? Because that's saying that now you're not with them. All right? Don't make that mistake. I did that. And I got hot and cold. So folks, you always have to be in the present tense with what you're thinking, what you're saying. Okay? Don't tell people what you're doing. Don't tell your friends, don't tell your family, none of that stuff. If they ask you how things are going, you simply say, fantastic. That's what I do. And you know what I do? I practice when I go into grocery stores or restaurants, or I walk into, a gas station or whatever. People says, hi, how you doing? I always answer with, I'm doing fantastic. Okay? And now it just comes natural to me. And if somebody knows that there's, the past, that there was an issue and I haven't seen them in a long, long time, and they ask me, hey, how's things going between so-and-so and so-and-so? Fantastic. That's all you have to say. Okay? I know some of you, you have those friends that want to pick and pry and needle and find out every such, it's, you know what, I'm doing fantastic. Don't really want to go into it. You've got to set some boundaries, because there are going to be those type of people. You're going to have those people who want to know absolutely everything. Okay? Set some boundaries and tell them, not really interested in going into it. Things are fantastic. Oh, okay, great. You have to set boundaries. Don't worry about scratching or hurting feelings. Okay? And for whatever, don't go into what happened in the past. The moment you do that, you bring that directly to your present. And here's what happens when you do that. The moment you do that, they feel it. They sense it. And it may not be that they're feeling or sensing or hearing in their head exactly what you're telling them. But they could be sitting at their desk and you're either thinking of that, something that happened between you two in the past, or you're telling a friend of yours that you haven't seen for a while that this is what's happening and going on. And then they could be sitting at their desk and all of a sudden you pop into their head. And then they're like, you know what? No, I really don't. I'm happy where I'm at. I've been through that before. They told me this and told me that before and stuff. You know what? And I'm happy where I'm at. Matter of fact, I'm glad I'm not with them. Okay? That's what's happening when you're talking about that stuff. Stop sharing information with people, with others. Now, here's another thing. When it starts to come about, when the relation starts to happen, or they contact you and they say, hey, you know what, I've been thinking about you and stuff, and I was thinking maybe we could, go out for a drink or something. Okay? That is not your end story. That is not your end story. And what I tell people, and this can be controversial, I get some people that some coaches that say, I tell them to, initiate. I always tell my people, do not initiate. And don't ever ask a question that you may not like the answer to. Okay? I can't tell you how many times I've told clients, stop asking them questions about how they feel about you. The moment you do that, you're telling yourself and the universe that you're questioning what's happening here. Remember, you have to live in the end all the time. In the end, you're in a loving, committed relationship. Why would you ever ask your significant other how they're feeling about you if you're in a loving, committed relationship? That's not what you would do. So why do it now? Stop doing that kind of stuff. It's not beneficial for you. All right? So now, the next thing that you guys need to be careful about is, let's say that there is a third party, okay? And I don't care what kind of third party it is. I don't care if they got remarried. I don't care if they are now, you know, with the same sex. I don't care. I don't care what the issue is there, what the third party issue is, because those circumstances do not matter. Okay? If there's a third party, do not, and I repeat, do not try to revise it to where this third party has left and they are having a good time. Okay? Don't put that into your sphere. Don't put that into your reality. Because now what's happening is you're still thinking of that third party. Okay? You've got to stop. You have to stop acknowledging that there is a third party in your end story. That third party doesn't exist. Okay? And I get quite, I don't want to use the word graphic, but when I talk to my clients about third parties, I actually get kind of mean, so that they get the idea of what I'm talking about. I don't care what happens to that third party. I really do not. That's not my job. Okay? My job is to get me back with my SP. Okay? And if there's a third party involved, they are messing up my getting back to them. So I don't pay attention to that stuff. I'm not concerned with that. I'm not concerned what happens to that third party. As far as I'm concerned, that third party can fall off the face of the earth. That's how I am. That's how I am about it. And when I finally get my clients to get to that point, things start to shift for them. But not until then. They're still all worried about, you know, being nice and I hope they find a nice person and stuff like that. I don't give a flying flip what happens to that third party. The more I don't think about the third party, the faster they leave. And it's funny, when I get people to do that, all of a sudden they say, that third party just disappeared. It's like they left the face of the earth. I go, exactly. Now stop thinking about it. So that's how you deal with the 3D. The 3D, again, let me clarify this for you. The 3D is nothing more than a reflection of your old past, for simplicity's sake, thoughts. Okay? That's all the 3D is. And if you can get past that and understand that and get away from that, it's much better for you. Okay? Things will go a whole lot smoother for you if you can do that. Okay? And once you do, man, the sky's the limit for you. Sorry about the washout, the light washout in this right now. I'm going to try and turn around and see if this gets better. But I'm almost done anyway. So the key is really, folks, is to realize that the 3D is nothing more than a reflection. And who's that a reflection of? You. It's a reflection of you. Your past thoughts, assumptions, conceptions, and perceptions of yourself and the world around you. That includes that SP. So if you can get to the point to where you realize that, then things start to happen for you quickly. Okay? In a good way. So folks, I hope that helps you. Remember, keep that end story in your mind and live from that end. And anytime the 3D does not look the way that you want your end story to look, go back to that. Say, nope, this is not the version of me that I desire. And then go back to the version of you that you do desire. This is how I am. This is how I am with my SP. Okay? And you could do that right in front of them. Okay? In your head, of course, but right in front of them. Folks, thanks for listening. And remember, if you want to ask me any questions or anything like that, the information is in the description. You can email me at anthony@liveintheend.com. I am redoing the website. It's not going to be like it is right now. I'm going to completely redo it. And I will still have kind of a blog section in there because I do still do some writing and stuff, but I'm gonna make it a lot easier for you guys to get coaching with me. I wanted to have it up by now, but I've been swamped with doing some stuff, and really it's just kind of me right now. So anyway, again, thanks for listening, and remember, you've got this.